Hello, welcome to the SRL iRacing League. Today we're here for the final race before we determine who makes it to the Final Four at Homestead Miami Speedway. But first they got to take on this half-mile speedway, Bristol Motor Speedway. And I will get to the points in just a second as practice is finishing up here, heading into qualifying. So we got 3 drivers locked in to the event. Let me go look at it real quick. Jordan Kuntz, Trevor Huff, and Elliot Drummond all have locked themselves into the Final Four. So one driver will be joining them, and realistically we'll go over those drivers. First one being Alexander Schumacher, who is probably the furthest one out. He's going to need a win, plus a Sam Brochu and a Benjamin Walker finish below 12th place. The second scenario, Sam Brochu needs to win and Walker needs to finish 8th. And the same thing with Walker, but switch them. Walker needs to win and Brochu needs to finish 8th. So we got 3 different scenarios, 3 different drivers that can join the Final Four list heading into Homestead next week. But 200 laps here at Bristol is going to definitely test your mental state as you're going to go round and round and round this half-mile racetrack. So I might have another guy joining me tonight, but he was having some, I think, storm weather issues. So we'll see if he actually joins. So a little bit of a Bristol Motor Speedway history in this league. Last season, it was absolutely dominated by the Spinal Racing drivers. Between 4 of them, I believe, Riley Marabello, Barrett Bulhemus, Sam Brochu, and there was one more. It might have been Elliot Drummond, but I'm not too sure. I just remember it were 4 teammates battling at the end, and it ended up being Barrett Bulhemus pulling off the win after passing Riley Marabello on the final lap. But Barrett is not here tonight, so we will have a new winner here at Bristol. As we got about 2 minutes left of qualifying. We'll take a look at the tower. That you see Riley Marabello out front. He wants a bit of redemption here after getting passed on the final lap by Barrett last season. Brochu is 2nd, Drummond 3rd, Huff 4th, and Denton 5th. Of course, we talked about Brochu. He's going to need to win this race, and Benjamin Walker is going to have to come home 8th or lower. And there's some other drivers that can realistically also get into the playoffs or at the Final Four, but they're going to need something big to happen because they're all 30, 40 plus points out. They're going to need the 3 main drivers, Schumacher, Brochu, and Walker, all to basically DNF early, and they're going to have to go out there and win the race. It's a realistic possibility, but well, it's not really a realistic possibility. It's a possibility. But realistically, it probably won't happen. So a pretty decent-sized field tonight. 26 cars have entered into this race as we got a minute left in qualifying. Of course, the normal FTN guys are taking the day off. So I'm just here to broadcast, and I'll probably be broadcasting next week too. But I think we'll have someone in here with me, and I'll actually have their I was supposed to have their graphics and stuff this week, But time kind of got away from us, and we both kind of forgot. So next week for Homestead, though, I'll definitely have their graphics. But this week we're just gonna stick with the STK Gaming graphics. So qualifying should be finishing up here. It doesn't look like anyone else is really moving around. And, yep, qualifying just ended, so it looks like Riley Marabello is going to get the pole with Sam Brochu right beside him. And we'll get to your starting grid right here. There you see Riley Marabello on the pole. Sam Brochu starts second. Row number 2, Elliott Droman and Trevor Huff. Two drivers locked in to the final 4. Row number 3, Cole Tinton, and Aaron Brown. Row number 4, Malachi Drake and Austin Duran. And then rounding out your top 10, Jordan Kuntz and Gavin Austin. Tristan Trull and James Bomar. Row number 11. Row number 12, Corey Lyles, Benjamin Walker. Alexander Schumacher, Chris Downey. Row number 8, Cash Culp, Jason Alexander. Row number 9. And rounding out your top 20, Noah Larson and DJ Thomas. And you see the rest of the drivers down there. As they're already on their formation lap. So we'll get rid of this. That was a very, very quick formation lap. As the base car lights are already off, which is very weird. Usually go 2 laps around here. I hope it doesn't count down pit road this time by. That'd be a bit awkward. And it might. We'll see. These drivers are ready to take on. Yeah, there you go. It's going on around another lap. That's fine. Must just be like a visual glitch. But we should be hitting the 1 to go signal this time by. As it looks like someone has started on pit road, because I believe Cole started 5th, and now he's up into the 3rd spot. So here we go. 26 drivers ready to take on this half-mile speedway at the edge of Tennessee. 3 drivers looking to try to lock themselves into the final 4. After this race, as the pace car comes down pit road, it's going to be Riley Marabello leading us to the green flag here at Bristol. Sam Brochu already out front with a nice lead, and this is what he needs right now. He's got to basically finish 7-8 positions in front of Benjamin Walker. As we know, he DNF'd last week after a crash with Trevor Huff. Or not last week, but at Phoenix. It might have been last week. Trevor Huff went on to win that race and basically secure his final 4 spot. As speaking of Trevor Huff, here he comes, closing in on Sam Brochu. In that number 3, Aaron Brown up the 4th, or a 3rd, passing Cole there. And Riley's dropped to 5th. Ooh, James Bomar, very loose coming off the corner, but he holds on to it. We'll pull up the tower here. Still Sam Brochu out front, leading every single lap so far. But Trevor Huff not too far behind. Now I wonder how these two are going to race each other. Like I mentioned at Phoenix, the 3 kind of got into the back bumper of the 25, spun him around into the wall, ending Sam Brochu's night. As you see a car coming out of pit road, that's Cash Culp. He's going to hit the apron. So now the field kind of stacking up side by side for that 3rd spot. Denton on the outside lane, which we saw him. He was pretty good at Phoenix a few races ago. Eric Heater is already out of this race, and Cash Culp is 5 laps down. But yeah, we saw Denton very fast and tried to save enough fuel to make it, but ended up about a lap short. Came home 10th. Currently running in that 3rd position, and he's looking high on Trevor Huff. I've only watched this kid race on short tracks, but he seems to be very good at them. So you see Gavin Austin right behind him. So far, at least up front, a very clean first 12 laps. We're coming on to lap number 12. So you see Cole trying to go for second on Huff, but Huff's going to keep that position. Gavin Austin just behind them. I think Cole might have gotten into the wall a little bit there, but still trying to look on the outside of Huff. Just trying to build a run. But you see Gavin Austin is kind of just a train right now with these front few drivers. As Cole is just trying to figure out how to generate a run past this 3-car. And Trevor Huff really has nothing to lose. He's locked in. He just had to start this race. But he still wants to go out and get a win. Benjamin Walker has cracked himself into the top 10. Not really a strong qualifying run for him. So he's looking to make up some positions here. As I believe him and Brosio are tied in points. And then you have Schumacher, who is a few points behind. The way I see it, Schumacher's going to need this 25 and 93 to pretty much DNF early. As the top 3 are kind of pulling away from the field, Gavin Austin now leads a bit of a second pack. Here comes Aaron Brown underneath. And your top 10 have pretty much broken away from the rest of the field. Tristan Troll back here with all the drivers in 11th. And so far, a clean 20 laps. You see back here, side by side, Aaron Brown looking underneath Gavin Austin. There's Jordan Kuntz, who is locked into the Final Four, and that number 99. As Brown just trying to get around this 0, and he does. A nice season. Oh, look at that. 3 wide on the outside. The 99 of Jordan Kuntz gets around Gavin Austin. Before that happened, I was going to talk about how Aaron Brown's season, he's not going to make the Final Four, but it's been a pretty good season for him. I believe he's gotten a win this sometime this season. I know he's been in victory lane once. I just can't remember what racetrack. Yeah, pretty good season. You want to talk about another good season, Riley Marabello, even though he hasn't really shown up towards the middle of the season. He was here at the beginning, won the opening at Daytona, and then won again at Las Vegas, getting his first 2 wins of the season. Not much going on up front. Jordan Kuntz has found his way up the 3rd, though, passing Cole Tinton. It looks like he saved his tires pretty well. Of course, his last win coming at Talladega just a few weeks ago. I believe for his 3rd win of the season. It's back here, Austin Duran trying to pass Gavin Austin for that 7th spot. And it looks like he is. Now here comes James Bomar. And Benjamin Walker might follow as well. And yes, he will. Gavin Austin might have used up his stuff a bit early. His tires are probably pretty worn. As one car up into the wall, that's Seth Burciaga. Just wall riding it around. And this is going to be interesting. Oh, the 41 runs into the back of him. I'm not sure who that 41 was. But this might bring out the caution, or he's just going to leave. Noah Larson ran into the back of him. Nowhere for him to go. As he had Elliott Drummond to his inside. Yeah, I'm not sure why the 46 was slow on the top. You see, there's nowhere for the... He hit the wall, came down into Elliott, and I guess netcode bounced him back up into the wall. Right into Seth Burciaga. So very unfortunate circumstances, but he should be fine if maybe he gets a caution here soon. But he's definitely in danger of going a lap down. Sam Brochu pulls away from... Oh, who is that? That's the 4 who doesn't have a front bumper. In that Halloween paint scheme. His front bumper magically appeared. Some witchcraft right there. So I can't really find the 4. Here we go, Johnny Johnson. So he falls a lap down. He's the only one lap down right now. So we get a quick caution. We'll be back on the lead lap. As Joseph Lewis, he's been down pit road a few times. Another Halloween paint scheme. People getting pretty festive with these Halloween paint schemes. Of course, Halloween is tomorrow. As Malachi Drake DNF'd, Gavin Austin is still dropping like a rock. It's a good thing that 2 of Elliott Drummond is locked in, because he is not having the best of days right now, currently 14th. Oh, I forgot to change that. Just there we go, Bristol Motor Speedway. Completely forgot to change that, but yeah, Elliott Drummond not having the best of days right now. As they're wrecking in front of him, that's Johnny Johnson, who's on the apron. No caution, though, as this day is just not going well. However, Brochu has pulled away from the field, and Kuntz and Denton got around Huff. And this is what Brochu needs, but Benjamin Walker currently running 7th. That's not going to help him. Like we said, he needs him to finish 8th or worse if Brochu's going to go out and win. 41, I'm not going to say clean laps, but caution-free laps. There you see John Johnson down pit road. Here, let me pull up the announcements real quick. So yeah, this final spot is definitely going to come down to the wire. But Sam Brochu has led every single lap so far. And he continues to lead. Jordan Kuntz 2nd, Cole Denton 3rd, Trevor Huff 4th, Aaron Brown 5th. And actually, Huff has some company from Aaron Brown, the 41 lap car of Noah Larson. Riley Marabello kind of regrouping a little bit after falling back on the restart. Currently in 6th, and you got Walker 7th, Bomar 8th, Duran 9th, and Peters has cracked into the top 10. There's a few cars in the wall there. Luke Peters has been pretty quiet season for him. Actually, I think he might have a win this season. I know I've seen him in other leagues, and he's gotten a few wins in those other leagues, but been pretty quiet for him. I'm pretty sure this season. I don't know. I feel like he has won this season. I haven't really kept up with the the lore behind SRL this season. So you see Alexander going a lap down. I don't know how this happened, but James Thurston has somehow entered into the race. I don't know how he did, but he wasn't on my leaderboard at all for qualifying practice or for the first 50 laps of this event, and now he's just here. Some voodoo magic going on around Bristol Motor Speedway as a Sam Brochu is about to catch some lap cars. It's Gavin Austin and Corey Lyle. And he's gonna lap Gavin Austin. Gavin Austin just used his stuff pretty early on. So we saw him running third earlier. And now falling a lap down. But he's going to battle Corey Lyles for the lucky dog. Maybe if we get a quick caution here. As Sam Brochu is lapped up to 14th. And the next car in his sights is Alexander Schumacher. And this is not what that 68 needs to see. As he's in the wall, here comes Brochu. Coming quick. But the 68 is going to have a cushion. Here's Chris Downey, the next one to go a lap down. Actually, now it's Tristan Troll. As Brochu, 3 wide, playing a very dangerous game, but all the lap cars are going to be respectful. Give him room. Yeah, Brochu just out here dominating right now. Has about a second lead over Kuntz. And almost a 3.5 second lead over Cole. The top 3 have pretty much pulled away from the rest of the field. Benjamin Walker, though, he saved his stuff for this long run up to 5th. That's not what Brochu needs to see. But we still have a long race to go. And we still haven't had a caution. I wonder if we're going to get to green flag pit stops. I was just telling some drivers in the pre-race, if we somehow manage to get to green flag pit stops, make sure you announce you are pitting in the chat or in the voice chat, just any of them. Because you're going to be slowing down on the racetrack. And the low line seems to be a lane some of these drivers are running. So Chris Downey about to go a lap down. That's not going to be good for Schumacher, and he was actually passed by Tristan Troll. So I think Schumacher might have gotten into the wall a few times. This car is very, very off pace right now. And it looks like he's having some internet issues as well. Another driver I see making his way up through the field. Plus 17 right now, Luke Peters. As it looks like Trevor Huff is kind of falling back. But yeah, Luke Peters starting in the back. And now plus 17. It has a huge run on Riley Marabello here for that 6th spot. Elliot Droman also making his way through the field. Of course, he's locked in, so it really doesn't matter where he finishes, but he'd still like a good result out of today. Back up front, Sam Brochu's just on an island all on his own. About a 2-second lead from Jordan Kuntz. As the next lap car is Austin Duran. as that James Thurston has pulled it into the garage. Maybe you know, Halloween is around. There's going to be some spooky stuff going on. That was pretty spooky. Maybe he was a ghost. Just maybe he was a ghost. Because he just came out of nowhere. Did like 2 laps and then left. He wanted that paycheck. That's all he wanted. Is that Austin Duran about to go a lap down? In that 17. I'm not sure who's in front of them. I'm not sure who that is in front of them. It's a lap car. 57. Michael Deitch running a Halloween scheme. We might see some green flag pit stops. So we've gone 70 laps. I'm not sure what the fuel window is here. But yeah, up to 10th or all a lap down, or up to 11th. That's what happens when you go caution free here at Bristol. It's such a short track, you're not going to see many cars on a lead lap. I think back in 2020, the real life race, there were only like 7 cars on the lead lap to finish the event. Because the last stint went green for so long. And Sam Broch is just continuing to dominate and pull away. And it might not be for anything because Benjamin Walker is sitting in 5th right now. And he's closing in on Aaron Brown. Luke Peters, though, I don't know what he's done, but he seems to have the fastest car on the racetrack right now. Up 18 spots and looking to get into that top 5 if he can pass Benjamin Walker, and he might be able to pass his teammate Aaron Brown for 4th. Elliott Drummond also making his way through the field, which we saw him on the restart. I believe he started top 5 and then fell back to about mid-pack, and it looks like he was just saving his stuff as him and Luke Peters are just following each other through this field to catch up to the front. As Corey Lyles is about to go another lap down. As just in front of Brochu, you got Trevor Huff and Riley Marabello. There are 2 more cars on the lead lap right now. But that 25 is a rocket ship. As he seems to be the only one who's really using that inside lane, and it's just... I mean, might as well, everyone's running that outside lane, so might as well just find a new line to use, and if it's working, which it is, use it. Back here for 4th. Walker and Peters going at it. Drummond just behind. Peters gonna try to clear. He had a chance there, but decided not to. But he should be able to clear Walker this time by, and yes, he will. We got a car coming down pit road. That's Aaron Brown in 18, so he might be starting the pit cycles here. As Schumacher goes another lap down. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty shocked we made it to green flag pit stops, as you see Beaumar about to go a lap down. Gavin Austin about to go 2 laps down. And we have our first caution, and that's not going to help Aaron Brown. I'm not sure who it is. I'm trying to look around here, but I'm not getting anything on my relative or nothing. So let me go into replay camera until I can find what this caution is for. which might be a little bit. I'm actually not sure. I'm not seeing anyone who has gone around. Looks like it was an admin caution. It might have just been an admin caution. I'm not really sure like what it was, but we'll watch pit road real quick. As you know, you got to enter on the back stretch. Coming around onto the front stretch. While these, sorry, I just punched my mic. While these cars pit, I'll have to go do something real quick, so I'll be right back. Go get him, Tyler. Go get him. This is going to be Broshu out first. Kuntz out second. And then Cole third, Peters fourth, Drummond fifth. I think Riley might have forgot pit road was open last time by because he stayed out an extra lap. Riley coming in to take service. Trevor Huff there as well. You know, he was a lap down. So getting the lucky dog there, I wasn't paying attention. It might have been Bomar. Sam Broshu has led all 88 laps. As you see, Aaron Brown, unfortunate for him, he just came down pit road, so he's going to be a few laps down. Choose cone this time by. Broshu going to choose the outside. Kuntz down low. Peters up high as well. So we got a total of 9 cars on the lead lap. It might have been Riley. No, I think it was Riley that got the lucky dog. Gavin Austin is somehow back on the lead lap. I'm not sure how that happened. He might have taken a wave around. He definitely took a wave around because he was in danger of going 2 laps down there until that caution came out. So we'll see if this somehow goes green all the way. It might come down to fuel mileage. As I don't know if Aaron Brown was just trying to undercut or if he actually was running low on fuel, but he made it about 80-something laps. It's definitely going to be interesting. So 9 cars on the lead lap. We're going to be seeing a big battle for the lucky dog. Austin Duran, Trevor Huff, Chris Downey, and Aaron Brown all 1 lap down, it looks like. We'll actually see. Yes, and Brosh is going to lead us back to the green flag. Denton, not a good restart on that inside lane. As now Broshu has a different competitor behind him for this restart, Jordan Kuntz. And we'll see how aggressive Luke Peters is here. Now that he's up front. Ooh, Schumacher very loose behind, and he's going to spin it back up the racetrack, and that's going to bring out the caution. It's just not been a good night for this 68. Go back and take a look at what happened. actually, I don't think the caution was for him. He did kind of spin and go around. I think it was for Corey Lyles in the 56 on the back straightaway. There are two different incidents here. Here we go. Corey Lyles first, battling with Deitch. Yep, just into the inside wall he goes. And then up here, it looks like Schumacher's just going to get loose. Keeps it off the inside wall. But yeah, it looked like the caution was already out before he spun around. So two separate incidents there. And this might be where cautions breed cautions. As the lucky dog will go to Austin Duran. And that's 17. Who I believe is making his first start tonight. If I can find his name here. Here we go. I believe he's making his first start tonight in the SRL Cup Series. I'll be right back. Alright, hopefully that's the last time I have to give it up. We're about to hit the halfway mark in this race. Sam Brochu has led all 96 laps. So Brochu doing what he needs to do. Walker currently doing what he needs to do as well. Remember, just got to stay within 7 positions. And that's if that 25 wins. I'm pretty sure these two are tied in points. So if the 25 doesn't win, it's just going to be a battle between... They might not be tied in points, but I kind of swore they were. As Sam Brochu is going to lead us back to the green flag. Probably... Nope, we're going to go this time by. As green flag back in the air here on lap 99. Another good start by that 25. Kuntz quickly slots in second, then it's Cole in third. So we got 2 drivers 1 lap down, Michael Deitch and Alexander Schumacher, so they're both going to be battling for this lucky dog. There they are. See if we get a quick caution. Denton trying to run that outside lane, trying to find something to work around this 99. Now he looks to the inside, but Kuntz going to hold that position. So we're halfway through this race. As now here comes Jordan Kuntz up high, trying to take that lead away, and he's going to try to do it. This will be the first pass for the lead, and we have a caution, and he's going to take it because of that. So Jordan Kuntz out front. Jason Alexander has gone around in the back. You see him in the pink number 10. LickityLose.com. And it looks like his motor is blown. So he will retire from the session. See back here. And it looks like he's just going to get way too loose, overcorrect it up into the outside wall, and a heavy impact for this number 10. So we'll go on board with him. Yeah, pretty nasty impact for Jason Alexander, and he will DNF. So after that, Jordan Kuntz takes the race lead. That's the first lead change since the first lap with Riley Marabello and Sam Brochu. I'm going to try to pull up the actual point standings here on my phone, if I can find them. And actually, no, Brochu is not. That must have been after Phoenix, my bad. But Brochu is -9. Schumacher's -14. And Walker's +9. So yeah, Brochu needs to finish 7 spots in front. And that's if he wins. And he's currently lost the lead to Jordan Kuntz, so it's going to be a battle for this 25. We'll just see. We still have a lot of laps left in this event. As we should be coming to the choose gun. Yep, there we go. Jordan Kuntz down low, Brochu up high. Should be coming to the green flag this time by. And nope, we're actually going to go one more time around. It looks like Cole Denton might have hit the commitment cone, and he's going to drop all the way to the back. Very unfortunate for the 96. Has to drop to the tail end of the field behind all the lap cars. We've seen plenty of drivers do that. But I think he's got, or actually I think he just drops to the end of the line. But we've seen how his car is. He's got a pretty fast race car, so I definitely think he'll be back up there towards the end. So here we go, a new player out front, Jordan Kuntz, will lead us to the green flag this time by. And green flag's out here at Bristol, lap 109. See back here. Austin Duran, who was a lap down earlier, currently trying to battle in this for this top 3, but now being passed on the outside by Benjamin Walker. Peters, he's making it up to second on Brochu. And here we go. Benjamin Walker and Sam Brochu battling it out here. This is going to be the first time Walker gets in front of Brochu tonight. That's not what Brochu needs. He needs to finish way in front of that 93. But Benjamin Walker has a fast race car. Is it using this stuff too early? Well, we'll see if we get to a long run. Oh, Peter's very loose down low. He holds on to it. Here comes Benjamin Walker, though, trying to look to the outside. Couldn't quite get there. Brochu passes Peters for that 3rd spot. As that restart, this 93 has just looked like a rocket ship out there. As Walker has a few wins this season. One I know coming at the Homestead Road Course. So he'd love to make the Final Four and maybe win the at the Homestead Oval too, and secure the championship. And right now he is looking very good. Alexander Schumacher up to 10th, but like I said, he basically needs this 93 and 25 to DNF. As Walker looking back on that outside lane, but we're going to have a caution, so it's going to have to wait. Austin Duran has gone around on the back straightaway. We'll go back and take a look at what happened to him. I'm sorry, I accidentally clicked something and it pulled that up. Here we go, battling with Gavin Austin. Looks like Austin's just going to get into the back of him and simply just dump him. And he's going to keep it off the inside wall, so good for him. Look at this in another view. I can find another view here. I know I have a cool camera angle. This one right here. See, Austin Duran was kind of falling back on this restart. And Gavin Austin just kind of finished him off there. So I believe the lucky dog went to Michael Deitch. And now we have no one lap down. The next car a lap down is 5 laps down. That's Tristan Trull. If we get many cautions, though, he'll be back in this thing. So cautions breeding cautions here. As Jordan Kuntz, I believe, looking for win number 4. Walker either looking for win number 1 or 2. And Brochu, I think, has 2 wins this season. So he's going to be trying to look for win number 3. Peters, I'm skeptical if he's actually won this season. I feel like he has, but I'm not sure. I know Aaron Brown has won, Drummond has won, Trevor Huff has won. Schumacher hasn't. Downey has it, and Denton has not been to victory lane. So we got a lot of drivers who have been to victory lane this season and just SRL in general. Up front right now. So the likelihood of a new winner, possibly Luke Peters. If not, you got to go all the way back there to Alexander Schumacher. Currently running 8th. Looks like we're coming to the shoes gun this time by. Kuntz up high, Walker also up high, Brochu's down low. Peters down low as well. Or actually no, Peters went high, Brown down low. So we'll be restarting with 80 laps to go. And if it goes green, it's going to be a fast 80 laps. Well, if you definitely pit now, you definitely can make it all the way on field, but I'm pretty sure these drivers could anyway, with all these cautions. Coming to the green flag, and Jordan Kuntz leading us back green. Walker and Brochu side by side. Walker's going to clear. And now looking high on the 99 of Kuntz. Trying to build a run, but here he comes. Kuntz couldn't slide up in front of him. And Benjamin Walker's going to possibly get out to the race lead, and yes, he will. So new leader, that number 93. This is what he needs to see right now. Sam Brochu kind of falling back again to Luke Peters. trying to get around that number 50. And he will. Single file for the most part, but then you go back here to Schumacher, Downey, and Droman, which Alexander Schumacher having a nice little charge back up to the front. Remember, he was 2 laps down at one point in this race. And now up to 7. You see Cole Denton already back up into 9th. We had a battle up here. One car looked way low. I think it was Huff on a Brown, but decided to back off. As Jordan Kuntz all over the back bumper of that number 93, trying to take back the race lead. But he's got Sam Brochu right on his gearbox too. Maybe not. He's got about a car length, maybe 2 in front of Sam Brochu right now. Trevor Huff and Schumacher going at it back here. As we're back under caution, it's Austin Durant again who's gone around. Looks like in turns 1 and 2. No, that's turns 3 and 4. Go back, take a look at what happened to him. This time battling with Joseph Lewis. And he's just going to slide up into Joseph Lewis. And around he goes into the outside wall this time. Yeah, just a quick caution here. Now what do you do? Would you want to pit, take some tires? Because you still have a lot of sets left. I mean, these front runners have only pitted once. So there you see. Or do you stay out for the track position? Schumacher has actually pitted a few times. That's probably why he's a bit faster right now. That's Cash Culp. Gets the lucky dog. 6 laps down, going to 5 laps down. 18 drivers still on the track. Only about maybe 12 of them on the lead lap. We actually had a car come down pit road. That was Elliot Droman. I think a few others joined him. Yeah, Michael Deitch and Austin Duran. But yeah, Schumacher has about 20 lap fresher tires than everyone else in front of him. As he's actually going to come back down pit road this time by. James Bomar also there, and a few lap cars. So we'll say you definitely get like 4 or 5 tire sets. Like I said, these front runners have only used 1. So they're going to have a lot to end this thing. So to the choose cone, Walker down low, Walker up high, my bad. Brochu's going to go down low, and then Kuntz going to stay behind that 93. So we'll see a few drivers on fresh tires now. Drummond being one of them. Austin Duran, James Bomar, Alexander Schumacher, Michael Deitch. Schumacher still having some internet issues. pace car lights are still on, so we're still going to go around one more time. So there we go. With about 76 laps to go. My fault, 66 laps to go. To decide a winner, as it's going to be Benjamin Walker with a nice jump out front. Brochu, a decent jump out front as well for second place. And he's going to clear Kuntz. Going to try to get up there to that 93. He's probably going to need that 93 to have a problem, because Benjamin Walker has just come to life in this second half. Side by side behind them, but Kuntz is going to clear Peters. And now Cole underneath him. As Denton back up here, up to his earlier penalty. Look at Peters passing Jordan Kuntz. Trying to get around him, and he will. So Luke Peters up into the third spot. And now Cole Denton looking for that fourth spot, and he will get it. Excuse me. And now here comes Luke Peters on the outside of Sam Brochu for that second spot. Almost into the wall. Had to get pretty sideways there to miss it. And he's going to pass Brochu. Now here comes Cole to the outside of Brochu. As we come to 60 laps to go this time by, it's Benjamin Walker out front, but Luke Peters is charging hard. As laps are winding down pretty quickly here. Peters looking for a different run, trying to get that run off the exit. Oh, Walker goes to that outside lane, trying to give him a little bit of dirty air. And now he's going to block Peters down low. As that 50 looks pretty quick right now. Here comes Cole to the outside of Peters, not going to be able to make a move. And now he's looking low on Peters, trying to just find a way around this 50, but Peters going to get the run off the outside lane. And Peters might have a nice run here on the 93. He's going to stick behind him. That's Walker still running that outside lane, giving Peters dirty air. As here comes the driver with fresh tires, James Bomar. He's cracked into the top 5. That 45 is pretty quick. Just to take a look right here. Has about 58 lap fresher tires, maybe a bit less. Anyways, they're fresh and he's coming fast. As Peters kind of messed up that entry, but still going to get a decent run off the corner. He hits the wall though, as Bomar is making a pass for fourth on Brochu. As now Walker has a gap over Peters. As it looks like Bomar, the only one on fresh tires to pit there. The only one really making his way through the field. The next one I see is Austin Durant or Elliott Drummond, who's stuck in 9th. As here comes Bomar on the outside of Cole for that third spot. And this 45 is very, very quick right now. Of course, you know this is James Bomar's first race in the SRL iRacing League, but he has a he races other leagues quite a bit. Has a championship in NASCAR. So So he's usually a contender every time he steps on to the racetrack. Now he's looking low on Luke Peters here for that second spot. But Peters just guarding that outside lane for his life. Not going to let anyone get up there. As now Peters goes low, trying to look for our way around Walker. Couldn't quite get anything done there. As Peters back up high, almost into the wall every single time coming off turn 2. And he's going to hit the wall a little bit there. That might allow Bomar to get a good run, but nope, Luke Peters still gets to run off the corner. And he has a nice run off the corner. Here he comes down low for the lead. Walker going to keep it though. Looks like the outside lane is just very, very strong here. But here comes Bomar down low, trying to take second away. James Bomar all over the back bumper. And we have a caution. Aaron Brown has gone around. Looks like in turns number 3. That's actually turn 2, my bad. No, that was turn 3. Go back and take a look at what happened to him. See, right in front of Trevor Huff. It looks like he just gets loose and overcorrects it up to the outside wall. Very similar hit to Austin Duran earlier. So a quick little caution there. Let's see who's going to come down pit road as we have less than 50 laps to go. Do you want to give up track position? Or do you want those fresh tires? It looks like those fresh tires are working for James Bomar. And here comes Walker. Peters is going to come in as well. And here comes everybody. Of course, you got to enter on the backstretch. Riley Marabello going around. He's 10 laps down. As Peters has a pit, I think he's the only one who has a pit stall on the backstretch. Cash Culp will get the lucky dog. He'll be 4 laps down now. It's going to be Walker leading us into his stall. We'll see who can be the first one out. As here comes Walker with a nice run out. Drumman's going to take 2 tires, it looks like. And he will be out first. Interesting strategy. Remember, he was one of those drivers that came down pit road last time by. Another driver that came down pit road last caution was Michael Deitch. And he's going to stay out. Running a little bit of pink on his spoiler and splitter. For, I don't know if that's just for his Halloween design or if it's for breast cancer awareness because it's still October. Either way, it looks good with that paint scheme. Yeah, Michael Deitch out front. I think I'm pronouncing that last name right. I'm not really good with names. So he's out front on a bit older tires. Elliott Drummond second with 2 tires and then everyone else on 4. So this is going to get interesting with less than 40 laps to go. We'll see what happens. Or in this 57, I believe he was 2 laps down earlier in this race. And all these cautions have helped him. Joseph Lewis down low, who has just not had a good night. To the shoes cone. It's going to get interesting. Luke Peters is going to... test his luck on that outside lane behind the 57. So we'll see if we pull up the pit stops here. 30 laps ago that 57 pitted. So here we go. We'll be restarting with 39 laps to go. Michael Deitch will lead us with Elliott Drumman down low. And green flags out here at Bristol. A nice restart by that 57, but it's not going to be good enough. Here comes Drumman down low to take it away. And Deitch is going to fall back a little bit here. Oh, Walker gets turned up into the field. Oh, it gets hit hard by Aaron Brown at the end. Big implications here on a late race restart. His toe link on the left front looks damaged. Yeah, that tire is a bit messed up. Runs to the back of Cole there a little bit. I don't know if he's very happy with somebody. Oh, it's Brochu, the guy he's battling. Kind of just hurt his car a bit more there. We knew there was going to be something happening on that restart. And unfortunately, it involves one of the guys who's trying to get into the Final Four. We'll go back. It's just a chaotic restart. As Deitch is going to be slow on that outside lane, Drummond through. And then here we go on the front stretch. As I'm not sure what happened here. Brochu makes a move up high. I think Walker also made the same move and comes up and just chops himself. Into the wall he goes. And nowhere for Michael Deitch to go. I'm not so sure if that was Brochu's fault, but just a bit of a frustrated, aggravated driver in the heat of the moment. And here comes Aaron Brown. Hard hit into the back bumper. We'll go helicopter cam, see this from above. I don't know if that was really Brochu's fault. As I think he was there before Walker came up. Yeah, he was. Walker just looks like he chopped himself. So, very unfortunate scenes here. And this might have just ended Benjamin Walker's Final Four hopes. See out front. You see up here, gonna run into the back of Brochu. Just not really a happy driver. So he's down pit road. Oh, I'm still slow-mo, my bad. I just wondering why my thing wasn't popping up. So we come to the choose cone, that time by Drummond, who is on 2 tires. It's that outside advantage. Walker's still sitting 14th. We'll see what happens. I think all that 25 needs to do is survive. But hey, that's one car for Schumacher. The 25 DNFs here. That could be huge for that 68 team. As here we go, coming back to the restart zone. It's going to be Elliott Drummond leading us here at Bristol. We'll see how those 2 tires do. He's got the clean air. As Peters and Bomar into the wall. As Peters and Kuntz battling for that spot. And now here comes Bomar to the outside, into the wall. Oop, he lost a bit of sheet metal there. It's magically reappeared. I wonder if he damaged any of his wheels. As Austin Duran, who had a few spins earlier, he's up here in 6th. So we got 30 laps to go. Beaumont and Kuntz still battling for that 5th spot, or 4th spot. And Beaumont going to finally get him. Now trying to look underneath Peters. But it's still Drummond out front leading. Trying to hold off Brochu on those newer, or on those 4 fresh tires. Now here comes Peters down low. Brochu with a nice run on that outside lane. He's going to dive it in low. He's not going to be able to clear the 2. That might have a run for Peters behind. Peters going to look high. But couldn't quite get to the... Oh! Brochu almost spun it out there coming off of the corner. Peters looked low but couldn't quite do anything. Drummond still holding his own out front on those 2 tires. As Walker's just continuing to lose positions here. Trying to get that car fixed up to get back out there. Currently sitting in 16th. As we got 25 laps to go, Elliott Drummond going to try to hold him off. He's already into the Final Four, but he would like another win entering it. As these two, James Beaumont and Jordan Kuntz, they're still battling it out for this 4th spot. As Kuntz just can't clear that 45. Now he's going to try to sit it in, but Beaumont's going to squeeze up to the outside lane, into the wall again. Still side by side for it. As Kuntz, a bit of contact there. Kuntz is already into the Final Four, and we have a caution. Looks like it's for Cash Culp, so he's not going to be able to get his lucky dog this time. Go back and see what happened here. And it was actually him and Michael Deitch. Looks like he might have come up into that 57. And around he went. So another quick caution here. I don't know if pitting should... I don't know if you should pit here. But it could be a big strategy if you do. We'll see Elliott Drummond on those 2 tires. Still holding his own out front. And we actually do have some pit stops for Sam Brochu. 2 drivers stayed out, Elliott Drummond and Luke Peters. Schumacher also going to stay out, so does Aaron Brown. Cole Denton. So 5 drivers on the lead lap staying out. Everyone else comes down pit road. First one led by Sam Brochu. So 20 laps to go, and right now Sam Brochu is looking very good to get into this Final Four. Last season's champion, trying to make it back, and maybe trying to go back-to-back. But it definitely seems like he has better competition this time around with Jordan Kuntz, Elliott Drummond, and Trevor Huff. We'll be restarted with 17 laps to go. 5 drivers staying out, and James Beaumont was actually the first one out. I wonder if he took 2. We'll see if they can keep it green. We saw a green flag run end it last season. Again, 4 Spino Racing drivers going at it for the win. Barrett Pulimus was the one who came out on top. As to the choose cone, Drumman kind of choose that inside. Peters up high, Schumacher down low, Brown up high, Denton up high, Bomar up high as well. Interesting for him. Brochu. It's going to be a third car down low now on those fresher tires. And Duran just runs to the back of Bomar right there. So we'll see. It's not that much of a tire advantage, but there's still a bit of a tire advantage. I believe, pretty sure they went more than 10 laps there. Of course, that too is on 2 tires. So as the pace car comes back down pit road, we'll be restarting with 17 laps to go before we crown a winner here at Bristol. And green flags back out. Elliott Drummond leads with Luke Peters behind him. And here comes Peters quickly down low, but Drummond gonna quickly clear him back. I like the different strategy by the 68 of Schumacher, just trying something different. Gavin Austin almost got turned back there. As Brochu, the first one on those fresh tires, already up to 4th. He's going to have to pass 3 more cars. Right now, Elliott Drummond and Luke Peters currently out front and pulling away. Coming to 14 laps to go. Oh, into the wall Peters goes. He's been in the wall a few times tonight. As Brochu trying to look for a way around Aaron Brown. Couldn't quite get there. He's looking again very close to his quarter panel, but Brown's going to get the run off the corner, it looks like. So we got 13 laps to go. Brochu still to that inside, trying to shove him up the racetrack. Just trying to get around him quickly here. Now, if you're Brochu, do you want to try to make these moves, these aggressive moves to get up to the front? Possibly costing yourself maybe a wreck. Because right now where he's sitting, he will be in the championship 4. As Walker's 16th back out on the racetrack, I believe. But he's going to shove Aaron Brown to that wall. As the top 2 have pulled away from the rest of the field. And we're coming to 10 laps to go here at Bristol. Brochu's still trying. They're stacking up the field now. Trying to get around Aaron Brown. One car, I don't know. Someone's exploding there. It's the 17 of Austin Duran. I think that was just a visual glitch, but that was weird. And Brochu's going to finally get around Brown, and Brown is going to go around hard into that inside wall, and that's going to bring out the caution. Ooh, oh my goodness. Almost got just drilled by Cash Culp. I think Joseph Lewis might have hit him a little bit. So we'll go back and take a look at what happened. So him and Brochu were just battling it out, and then Brochu finally clears him. And Brown gets at the wall, gets turned by Bomar. And a hard impact to that inside wall. And then right here, comes back up the racetrack, almost gets collected by Cash Culp. It looks like Joseph Lewis hit him a little bit there. If we can find Cash Culp here, we'll go on board with him. Oh, wrong. We'll go Robar. So he just almost clobbered that number 18. And he was way back here, too. Oh, my goodness. He had to get into the wall to avoid him. That could have been a lot bigger than what it was. Michael Deitch comes down pit road. Schumacher also comes down pit road. He's going to try something here. Drummond still holding his own out front, but now he's got Brochu basically going to be starting behind him, or Bomar, both on fresh tires. Walker's going to go around. Yeah, as long as Brochu finishes top 5, he should be good. Because he was only 9 points behind Walker. Walker's sitting in 16th right now. Schumacher's basically going to have to get up there, win this race, and he's going to have to hope that 25 also basically DNFs. Let's see, if that DNFs if that 25 were to wreck here, he would fall back to 13th. So yeah, He's going to have to hope that 25 DNFs and he gets up here and wins this race. He is coming down to take fresh tires, though. So we'll just see. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. He starts 11th. He'll be restarting 11th. As I think we're coming to the choose cone this time by. No, we're not. So we'll be restarting with 3 laps to go here at Bristol. And things are about to get chaotic here. It's back onto the front straightaway here. Should be coming to the choose cone this time by. Jerome Man's going to choose the inside. Peters up high. Brochu up high. Bomar up high. That's going to give Kuntz down low. We'll see what happens here. As I don't think this finish is going to be as clean as what we saw last year. We might see a pretty disastrous finish. But it's going to be Elliott Drummond on those 2 tires, going to try to hold off everybody else. Luke Peters has 4 fresh tires, but not as fresh as everyone else behind him. And green flags back in the air. 3 laps to go here at Bristol. Peters not a good restart. That's going to allow Kuntz to get all over the back bumper of that 2. Brochu into the wall. Now here comes Jordan Kuntz down low, trying to take the lead away, but Drummond's going to hold on to the outside lane. 2 laps of racing to go here at Bristol. Drummond pushing hard on those 2 tires, trying to make it at least back to the white. And he's got a nice gap over Jordan Kuntz. As out of turn number 4, white flag here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Oh, Brochu's getting contact. I don't think he spun. I think Peters spun, though, as down the back straightaway for the final time. Kuntz has 1 more shot. He's going to sit it in all over the back bumper of the 2. It's not going to be enough. Elliott Drummond's going to win here at Bristol. As Austin Duran goes around hard, impact into the catch fence. Oh, my goodness. He comes home 4th. And he lands it upside down right at pin entry. Elliott Drummond, though, with the win. And Brochu finishes 3rd. That's going to lock him into the Final 4. So we'll go back and diagnose everything, what happened there at the end. As Brochu, Duran was turned right side up. Drummond's little signature move there, burning it down on pit road. We saw him do it at the Roval last season. That was the last one I saw of his. Now he's going to come onto the front straightaway here. So he was already locked into the Final 4. But he just wanted a little bit more momentum there. As we'll go back and take a look. It all started with Luke Peters coming to the white flag. And unfortunately, he finishes 11th. Still the highest mover of the race. So we'll go back and take a look at what happened. My bad, I accidentally went a bit too far. So is this it? No. I don't know where I am. Oh yeah, I forgot it was a 3-lap restart. My bad. Yeah, this is it. There you go. Brochu underneath him. And he's going to just hit the wall, come down into Brochu. Luckily, Brochu didn't go around there. And he actually just hugs the wall. And then Austin Duran, he comes home fourth. He comes home fourth, but loses it coming out of turn 2. And him and Bomar into the wall, and then Downey flips him up into the catch fence. A very nasty crash here at Bristol. We'll take a look at that in slow motion. You see, he just gets loose off the corner. And he probably would have been fine, but the 45 behind him, who finished 5th, also goes around, and he's just going to squeeze him up into the wall, which is going to pop him up. And here comes Chris Downey, nowhere to go. And into the catch fence, that 17 goes. And he's going to roll it a few times down the racetrack. There's Aaron Brown there. Luke Peters just misses it. Same for Michael Deitch. Crazy wreck here to end this race. So we'll go on board real quick with, if I could find him, Chris Downey, who came home 9th. So Austin Duran goes flipping in turn 1, but it's going to be Elliot Drummond picking up the win here at Bristol, and he will have extra momentum entering the Final Four, where he will compete for a championship. Let's go to the Discord, and I don't even know, it was Brochu who finished 3rd. Yeah, so we'll pull him up in here first. All right, Sam, so congrats. Welcome to the Final Four. I am 100% sure you made it, finishing way in front of Benjamin Walker after his earlier DNF. But you led pretty early on, a lot of laps pretty early on, and then kind of just got stuck behind cars and dirty air and just couldn't get back up to the front. But ended up with a podium finish here at Bristol. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel good. It was a kind of crazy race there at the end. You know, the main focus coming into this was just to get as many bonus points as I could, and I got 2 right off the bat, leading a lap and then leading the most laps. So then we shifted our focus to beating Walker, and I beat him not the way I intended to beat him. Honestly, I had no clue. Michael was still on my outside. I was being yelled middle 3 wide, and before I knew it, I was at Walker's outside, and we just kind of met in the middle there. So there was no real intent. I definitely did not mean to wreck him. I wish that we could have raced it out like we were supposed to. But, you know, some things just don't go the way it should, and that was definitely one of them. But there at the end, I thought the pit strategy that I called was the pit strategy, but I just couldn't get around Luke there at the end. It was that middle lane just didn't seem like it wanted to work late in the race like it did early in the race. So, but I'm proud of the finish, proud of the race we ran, learned a lot. Hopefully we can take this momentum into Homestead and go win us another championship.
Well, obviously, Benjamin Walker there wasn't too happy over the incident, but it really was just a racing incident. No one was at fault, really. Just Bristol,
and he has every right to be upset with me. You know, if I were in his shoes, I'd probably have done the same thing, just showed my displeasure the way he did. So, I'm sure I'll talk to him at some point before next Monday. He did kind of throw some threats at me that I wasn't going to win the championship, but, we'll let the race speak for itself. Just hopefully we can. Homestead's not one of my strongest tracks, so hopefully I can get some laps in and just, shift my focus to the big trophy at hand rather than trying to deal with somebody who's not in the fight anymore.
Well, last season you won the championship. You are looking to go back to back here, but this season you have a little bit stronger competition heading into this Final Four. So, what's your take on that?
Yeah, no, all three of those guys are fast. They've been fast all season long. It's definitely going to be a scratch and claw type battle. But the good thing about these guys is they race with a ton of respect. They race me clean, and I race them clean. So hopefully we can duke it out the way we're supposed to, cleanly and smartly. But going into every championship weekend, it's best driver wins. So if I'm not the best driver and I did everything I could to try and be the best driver, I'll leave Homestead pretty satisfied.
All right. Well, is there anyone you would like to thank before you head out here?
Yeah, just Barrett and Riley for keeping my head in the game in Discord. Especially Barrett, just keeping me up to date on points, up to date where Walker was, and after the wreck, just keeping my head in it. It really helps keep the nerves down, especially late in the race when something like that happens. So shout out to those guys. J.O., he wasn't able to make it tonight, but everything he does for me and the team, it's pretty cool to go for a second driver's championship with him. So just looking forward to next week.
All right, well, Sam, congrats on your making the Final Four once again, and can't wait to watch you next week try to defend your title.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Bogey.
All right, so there's Jordan Kuntz. He's finally in the podium ready room, so we'll bring him up. All right, Jordan, so I'm not really for sure where you started in the race. I can't remember if it was towards the back or up front, but you stayed up front pretty well, led a few laps, and just unfortunately there at the end couldn't get Elliott Drum in, but still secured a spot in the Final Four just by starting this race. So how do you feel?
I feel great to be in the championship four. Feel like it was a strong run. Of course, got really lucky with the penalties, moved me up a few spots from qualifying mid-pack, and definitely showed my pace in the middle stint of the race. But at the end, whenever it became hard to pass, just like last week at Texas, it just really hard to overtake someone who just training the outside. And of course, whenever it came down to me and Elliott there at the end, I wasn't going to wreck someone for the win.
Yes, definitely kept it clean there, and probably gained some respect from Elliott there heading into this championship four. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure you had 3 wins on the season, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
I honestly have no clue.
It's either 2 or 3.
I think 5
You have 5?
in the season.
Oh my
I think
goodness.
3 in the playoffs, or 2 in the playoffs.
I was way off. But 5 wins, I'm pretty sure that's the most out of anybody in the Final Four. So you're heading into this championship race with a lot of momentum on your hands. So, yeah, just how do you feel about that?
I feel great with all my teammates who are going to help me out next week in preparation for the race, and hopefully give me tips during the race. Homestead always historically had been one of my tracks that I don't do well at. Definitely have improved over the past years, and did a few NIS races a few weeks ago to improve for this race, and I think it can all come together next week.
All right, well, is there anyone you would like to thank before you head out here?
Everybody who was in the Discord with for just being there, racing. It's a lot of fun racing them and talking to them, and of course all the work that the admins do behind the scenes and race control. It's never perfect, but it can always be improved, but it's always nice to have a race control. And everyone who's watching the stream, for hopefully they enjoyed it and hope they watch next week.
All right, well, Jordan, congrats on your second place finish tonight, and congrats on making the Final Four. It's going to be fun to watch you race for a championship next week at Homestead.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So we'll bring up the winner now. And the winner, Elliot Drummond. And a nice strategy there called there at the end, only taking 2 tires on your final pit stop. And that clean air and just being out front helped you secure the win here at Bristol. And now you have a lot of momentum heading into the championship 4 race at Homestead. How do you feel?
I feel good. I mean, this race I feel like was very straightforward for Bristol. You had that long green flag run, and you just had to know the chaos was coming soon. So, there was a time around 70 to 60 to go where I came in when none of the leaders really did. So that realistically allowed me to take 2 because I only had minor wear on my left side. It's only like 96. So I came and took 2, and I just knew clean air is everything. At this point in time, the rubber is built up on the bottom and the top, and it's nighttime. It's going to be really fast, so I just knew the top is going to prevail. So if this is daytime, I might have not done that, but since it's nighttime, it is just the fence or nothing. So having that in the back of my head, I was like, well, I'm practically in, so might as well just go for it. And I'm glad it worked out. And after last week, Jordan Kuntz racing me the way he did, he's a real one. He's probably, I think, the favorite going into next week. He's a real one for that. And, I wish him the best next week. 'Cause I'm sure intimidated.
Well, yeah, just by starting this race, you would have made it to the championship 4. But you just wanted a little bit more momentum by going out there and winning tonight. So congrats on that.
It goes in the stat sheet, so.
Yeah. Was that your second or third win of the season?
Third, Pocono, Texas here.
Yeah, very nice stat line there. And is there anyone you would like to thank before you head out here?
I mean, just my parents for getting me the PC monitor and all the sim stuff, I guess. If that's someone to shout out.
Yeah, man. Always shout out your parents.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, congrats on your win tonight. It's going to be fun watching you race for a championship next week at Homestead with the 3 other competitors. And I'll see you next week.
Thank you. It should be a fun one.
Definitely. All right, so we're going to pull Schumacher up in here now, who just missed out on the Final Four, but he wants to talk a little bit. Hello, Alex.
Hey there. Thanks for having me, Bogey.
So I'll do a little interview with you. Of course, your night, a lot of things had to happen for you to actually make the Final Four, and kind of struggled there at the beginning, but you managed to come back up through the field. And where did you finish? You finished
Top 10, I think.
Yeah, I think you finished top 10. So good result there. It just wasn't enough, but like I said, you had to have a lot of things go your way, and just all of them didn't happen.
Yeah, that's the beauty of point racing. Yeah, you've had a really long season, and I'm really thankful you've been along for the ride for all of it as well. But there was a point in the race where I did think there was a bit more on the table. Obviously, the incident with Walker and Sam put a little bit more courage, especially with everyone unanimously agreeing as well to get some laps back. That was a little bit uncommon and rare for me to do as well as a league owner, but for the sake of competition and everyone loves a good green flag run. I understand that, but I just didn't feel comfortable with only 3 cars battling out. So after that, I think the vibe changed completely. Just wasn't good on my tires, didn't take care of them, and I just try to do a Hail Mary at the end by taking 4, thinking that there would be some kind of difference. And I drove like hell, and it just wasn't meant to be. So obviously, it's kind of hard to be in a situation to race for a championship when you haven't won any races this season. You gotta obviously get a couple better finishes than that just to squeak out some more points. So it's just a great season overall. Hate to see it end like this, but I think it'll give me some motivation for next season, especially with a lot of things coming with the Cup Series. I know it's weird as a league owner to constantly be chasing wins, but I just think that's the best way to earn it. You know, that way when it finally comes, it'll be earned and well deserved. So just got to keep chasing the dragon, or keep chasing the tail of the dragon. Just keep working hard at it. There's some really fast and talented guys in here, and it's a privilege to run hard against them every week and learn things from them and figure out what I need to do better. And it's, you know, from a friend standpoint as well, they're just some really great guys. So it's nice getting your butt kicked by your best friends, you know, especially when we're racing hard for a championship. But I'm just glad I didn't need to do anything stupid out there to be in a position. I drove as hard as I could, didn't make anyone mad, and that's the way she ends, you know. So obviously it was a bit hard for me looking on the outside in, but you know, anything can happen. Anyone can get wrecked. Anyone can get out of the race. We saw it happen with Walker, unfortunately, but you know, that's just kind of how she goes. It's the beauty of racing, right? You got to have a full season. You might be able to beat somebody one race, two races, but in a full season, I think that's where it really matters. So, but yeah, it's just been a great season so far since we started in April, and just overall really satisfied with how everything's going. We've had 20 plus cars showing up for every single race over 26 weeks. We've had some off weeks as well. Just absolutely unreal to have a community this strong and this willing to come back and keep racing. That to me just makes me excited and happy for what's going to be coming next year, and how much more the server is going to grow and how much more the league will change and adapt. So without being said, I'd like to get into the Final Four results because I think that's something we've all been waiting for. So for the 2023 SRL Cup Series Championship, the Final Four drivers are Jordan Kuntz, Elliott Drummond, Trevor Huff, and Sam Brochu. Those four drivers will be battling next week for a championship at Homestead. Really excited for this. I think these four drivers are incredibly fast. Most importantly, we have a returning champion in there as well. I think that's really important for the league, and it's just going to be a really fun time. I think it's just going to be a classic race through and through, obviously with the day into night transition, but it'll be a well-deserved champion for any of these four drivers that deserved it after a whole year of grinding, and some of them I think joined on with us late and they're still here driving for a championship. So just really excited for that. So obviously congratulations to Kuntz, Drummond, Huff, and Brochu on being our Final Four drivers, and obviously being the best of the rest. I'm really excited for next week's race, and I think you're going to see a bunch of crazy shit happen, honestly. With that being said, the Final Four next week, I'm going to announce it right now, we'll be starting first, second, third, and fourth. They will qualify individually, but the lowest they can start is fourth place. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I don't want someone's championship hopes to get dashed on a first lap wreck. I just want to do it for the sake of consistency. That way the best driver does earn it. I know it's not fair for the non-playoff guys, but the only thing I have to say to that is race for a championship. You'll be treated like royalty if you're racing for a championship. So obviously really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a display of great talent, and you're going to have these four guys going head to head, and someone's going to come out on top. I don't know. I'm not going to predict who's going to be on top, but I think anyone has a valid right to say they're going to win, and everyone has a valid right to say that they're not going to win. So just really excited. We're going to have media day as well, with some interviews with some drivers that will air during the race, I think. Get some screenshots as well. So I'm really excited for this. I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks for having me on, and thank you as always for being here, and thanks for being here for the whole season and season one too. Just it's absolutely great having you here, Bogey. Call these iconic moments as they happen live.
All right, well, thank you, Alex, for the little talk there and all the information heading into next week for the final race. And yeah, definitely a interesting season. I know I wasn't really here for all of it, but
it's been a really up and down year.
I guess.
Yeah, we've had our ups and downs, but through and through, we're still here, and we're still pulling 20 plus guys, and that's all I can ask for, really. So the community's still strong, this community's still going, and I love that we're still growing, and we've got a lot of exciting things to announce next season in terms of acquiring series and other things like that. I won't get too much into detail, but SRL is growing pretty healthily, I will say that. Our health of the league is pretty dang good, and I'm happy with it.
All right, Alex, well, thank you for your time tonight. Is there anything else you would like to say?
shout out to you, shout out to FTN, shout out to all the guys that have made SRL happen, all 200 plus people that have raced at least once this year. I think the number's 200, but it's about close to it. Just awesome. I just thanks to everyone who even gave me an hour or so. That's all that matters to me, is putting on a show and being able to provide a good spot for the community. So just wanted to say thanks to everyone for giving me a chance on this, and listen to the league develop through and through. And you gotta sail through some rough waters to get to the paradise part. So it's just nice to see that the league is still here through and through, and we're happy and everyone's happy, and we're all on to better things, especially in 2024. So thank you a lot, and thanks to everyone, honestly.
All right, thank you, Alex.
Thanks a lot, brother.
Just put him in a easy one. All right, well, that's gonna do it. Well, before we head out here, take a look at the race results. If it'll pull up, here it is. So Elliott Drummond with the win, Jordan Coots second, Brochu third, Duran fourth, Bomar fifth. Both of them drivers making their first 2 starts. Gavin Austin with a nice comeback in 6th. Cole Denton 7th. Trevor Huff 8th. Chris Downey 9th. And rounding out your top 10, Alexander Schumacher. There you see your pole sitter, Riley Mirabello, 8 laps down and in 15th. And then Benjamin Walker, unfortunately, 9 points. A 9-point favor heading into this event. And we'll miss the Final 4. So like Schumacher said, your Final 4. Jordan Kuntz, Sam Brochu, Elliott Drummond, Trevor Huff, all with wins this season. They all definitely deserved it. So we'll be seeing them battle it out for a championship next week. And like I said, hopefully I'll actually have someone else in the booth with me. And I'll actually have the FTN graphics. I'll give a few shout-outs, of course, to first to Schumacher for running this league these past 2 seasons. I know this season's a bit hard. I haven't really been there for him most of it. I'm slowly trying to come back from a bit of life issues. But and then of course the FTN guys were taking over after, I believe it was the All-Star race where I couldn't really make races anymore. And thank you to them for letting me broadcast a few races here on their channel. Like I said, I don't have the graphics they really have. Hopefully I will next season or next week, because I'll probably be streaming that race too. But yeah, just a huge shout out to the FTN guys, huge shout out to Alexander Schumacher, and huge shout out to everyone who's run a race in this league. But yeah, that's gonna do it. That's going to do it for tonight. A very, very fun race here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Next week, we'll determine the Season 2 champion at Homestead Miami Speedway. I'll see you guys there.